So tell me what your definition is of burnout and maybe how that compares to depression. And are they one and the same or are they different?
It's a great question. I'm like, we should ask ChatGPT. So I live my life now. I'm like, I don't know. In fact, my son does it. He's like, Mom, just ask Chat. And I'm like, no, I know the answer. He's like, no, ask Chat. I'm like, oh, but I think they can be separate. I think you can be depressed without being burnt out. I think you can be burnt out without being depressed. And I think you can be both at the same time. And so I had the perfect storm. I was both depressed and burned out. And I'm sure that the burnout helped kind of lead towards
Fuel
depression.
the
But
depression, yes.
yeah, so burnout, I think, happens when you're depleted. You've got too much on your plate. My favorite way of describing it is that instead of bringing a candle at both ends, you just throw the whole thing in. So I definitely was burned out. I was the end of myself, and not like a normal, I'm tired, it's been a long day burnout. It was like, I need like a month to take off. And then depression to me is defined more of a deep sadness. So when I say I was burned out, like I've been burned out before, slow down and things are good. But with my depression, what I learned is that the source of that depression really was coming from this emotional area of feeling hopeless. And so oftentimes when I was reaching a point where, different emotions were starting to take over, when I started feeling hopeless, like nothing's going to change, like, and I was questioning the Lord during that time too. Like, God, have all this emotional baggage from my childhood. I have all these different things. And like, why are you allowing me to still feel so hurt? Why are you creating circumstances where people can hurt me and allowing that to happen? And so I was kind of starting to feel hopeless. And so that's when I started really struggling with depression and kind of questioning a lot of different things. Never my fate, but always just like I didn't understand. So I was kind of searching for understanding, if that makes
We
sense.
had a pastor's wife and her husband, our pastor, would get clinically depressed from time to time. And she explained it to me this way. She said, if Joe is down in the dumps, you might take him out to dinner or go see a movie or
Yeah.
something, and it sort of cheers you up. She said, I can do that, and it doesn't make a difference. And so it's a no joke thing.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was tough. And I
To
remember
go through.
telling Steve at one point, I'm like, I think I need some counseling. And he was just kind of like, hey, I think I need some counseling.
Yeah.
That's how I attack
Right.
things.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know. Do you think? And like the next day, like I just had another layer. And I just think the Lord just allowed me to really hit bottom. And when he spent the entire evening holding his sobbing wife, who I could not stop crying. And he's like, okay, I think that counseling thing you were talking about sounds like a really good idea. Like, yeah, like I couldn't stop. It's just not like me at all.